my god, the entire movie, but everyone just looks like this.
How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the final Star Wars movie review, at least for the Skywalker Saga. Joined by
Jonah Morgan
and
Logan Wilson.
and today we're going to be talking about the Rise of Skywalker. What do we like about this movie?
Babu.
Hold on,
Babu Frick.
I gotta look a while.
No, hold up, we gotta talk about the best.
Babu.
Babu is.
Babu Frick was cool.
Hey!
Wait,
Hey!
Yeah, he was cool.
he was awesome.
Okay, but
And
like,
even when he showed up in that final scene where he showed up in the ship and he did that, I was
he's
like,
in a ship
yes!
with
Lando?
Zori.
Zori, that's it. He's the best. He's probably the best new character.
And he's entirely like,
Babu's
practical
cool.
because he's like tiny.
The one little droid that they added,
Crap.
Oh.
Forgot.
I don't remember what the droid's name was, but he was kind of cool.
No, thank you.
Yeah, no thank you. No thank you.
Where he has like a voice,
Right.
but like he only can select from a certain like list of
lines.
words.
I liked that droid. The movie
Happy.
still had a lot of funny lines.
Sad.
I'm trying to think of some, but there were some funny one-liners. Oh, the one on what was the name of the planet?
Where Babu is.
Yes.
It's like I forgot. It blows up.
It does blow up. The one that blows up.
I forgot it.
They were on there. They just meet Poe's ex.
Basically.
And then Poe's like, not Poe. Finn's like, you were a spice runner. And then he's
Runner
like,
of spice.
You were a spice runner. He's like, you were a stormtrooper.
You were a scavenger.
You were a scavenger. I can keep doing this all day.
And then I think it's funny as they're walking away. Finn goes, "Runner of spice, runner of spice."
Yes, that was funny. That was really funny.
Spice
The
runner.
actors have so much
Runner of
fun.
spice.
Honestly, no. That's the biggest thing I loved about the trilogy was the chemistry between the actors. At a lot of times is really good.
Runner of spice.
And I
It
feel
was
like it's
really good.
Like, I feel like it's encapsulated in this film because the main three characters spend all
A
spend
lot
time
of
on the
time
same
together.
screen.
And it's all good.
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's all really
You
good.
can see that the actors are having so much fun interacting with each other.
Their chemistry is great, and that's why I just feel
This is
So
the movie that Poe I think is the best in this movie
Yeah.
in terms
For
of
sure.
decisions and like the fact that he has to deal with like Leia
For sure.
being gone. I think Poe.
That's one thing.
Poe's
I
great
think
in
that's
this
one thing we should go and talk about, the fact that this is every single sequel trilogy has one original trio pass away, and this one is Leia.
right. Yeah,
That was really
three
sad
of
too
them are
because
on
Carrie Fisher had died like a couple months
Yeah.
after
Right.
after like they finished filming Last
Last
Jedi.
Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
And before it came out.
I put in my notes. I said poor Chewbacca.
He's so
that's
sad.
All of
It's-
his friends are dead.
Yeah, I was like, oh.
Now he's left with
Chewie.
Oh,
BB-8.
wait, my number one thing
Yeah.
Lando.
The return of Lando,
Lando.
of course.
Lando's
Billy D-
return was absolutely
Billy D.
sick.
Williams is one of my. I mean, he's on this random planet. When he shows up, he's got like this mask on. You have no idea who it's him, and he goes, "What does he say? Crap."
It's just like, follow me.
He goes, "Follow me," and then he
shoots a
says,
stormtrooper. He shoots a stormtrooper,
He says-
and then he's like, follow me.
and then Chewie goes up to him and like hugs him.
That's so good.
Yes.
So good.
Another thing about the acting, the very end of the film, Ben's redemption is like
Kylo is
Tyler's redemption, Ben's
really
redemption.
good in this movie.
I think overall, after watching all three films and really thinking about it, he has the best arc
Yes.
of the
Easily.
trilogy.
Yep.
Easily, yeah.
He has the best arc of the trilogy. He feels the most connected.
And then they do this thing where they made Kylo comedic, where when he gets the lightsaber, he goes, and he like shrugs.
I love that so much.
When he gets
does
lightsaber,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
He goes,
and he
goes,
just goes, it's a solo thing, because in New Hope,
It's
Han does
so
something similar. He
good.
just
It's
Right.
actually pretty
and,
good.
And Ben just goes,
And I
He
love how
also kicks some butt with a blaster.
I love
for a
how
little
his
bit.
Jedi robes.
he like shoot.
He does the thing Han does. He does the
Han
thing Han does.
He does the Han thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where he shoots. I forgot how big of a part Leia's lightsaber serves in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like that we got that a flashback.
With really good CGI.
No, it was terrible.
It looks
Leia's
good.
was bad.
Leia's
Leia's
is bad.
bad.
Luke's is good.
Luke's is good.
Leia's is not
Leia's
good.
looked terrible.
Leia's was bad.
Leia's like old Leia. I thought it was pretty good. Oh, when Rey. Okay, we'll talk about her later. When Rey goes to Octo and throws the lightsaber in it, and Luke catches it, I really like that.
See, I
that was frustrating to me because it just
because of
the whole a Jedi's weapon deserves more respect.
says the guy who checked it over his
I know.
shoulder
That's the
in
joke.
last movie.
I know it's the joke, and I know
It's
it's
funny.
the thing, but it's just so weird. And
That's
And
my
but the
thing.
music cue when he catches it is really good.
It is a really cool scene. Just
Yeah,
see right
it
now.
is a cool visual
The thing is,
scene.
though,
You saw a hand, you're like, wait, what the heck?
thing is, though, when I first saw that hand stick out, I for some reason thought it was going to be Anakin. We'll get to that in a minute.
That would have been
But
so.
I know. That's why I was
But
like.
say, yeah, I want to tell them
voice
about
of
what we talked about earlier. I want to tell them about what I told you about earlier.
Yeah.
The thing.
Speaking of Anakin, the very end of the film
That's-
with like the
You want me to go ahead and talk about it?
that what you were gonna
that's
mention?
yeah, that's a middle
Because
ground for me.
in this, okay, so in this movie, it's one of the first times that we've seen that Force Ghosts can interact with physical objects because
yeah.
Luke catches that. So what I told Christian was this movie would have been so great if all the Force Ghosts just showed up and kicked Palpatine's
Like if you
butt.
see, if
That
you
would
see,
be
if,
really
if,
sweet.
Like if you saw
Anakin's like rematch.
No, hold on, no.
and Rey and all the Jedi.
No,
just
no,
destroy
hold on.
Palpatine.
And then I suggested to him, I was like, you just go through and all the like Force Ghosts of Jedi just ignite one by one, and then Palpatine's like, how is this possible? And then you see one last one ignite, and then turn around and it's Anakin.
It's
and
Anakin.
Christian.
It's
That would have
freaking
made this
Anakin.
movie like top tier.
yeah,
I have-
Rey and literally all of the Jedi.
That's such a middle ground for me because the first time I had saw that, I was so focused on like wanting to see them, and I was so disappointed that we didn't see
I
them.
thought we were going to.
Yeah.
But I was
Right.
because I was so focused on that because I was like I didn't pay attention to who's all.
It would have
the
made up
side.
for a lot of the
So I had
context
to.
of
So
this
I
movie,
hold on,
I think.
hold on. So I had to watch it a second time in order to pick out all the voices. So that's a middle ground for me because it would have been 10 times better if you saw them.
Sure.
Because supposedly
yeah.
there was Hayden Christensen filmed some scenes for this film, but they got cut supposedly.
You
I heard about
idiots.
that. I remember hearing about that actually. Yeah.
I know, and I was mad about that.
That'd been so good.
Yeah. Even still, I really liked that scene and hearing
like
all
it.
those
I
voices.
think it's still good.
Was
Yeah,
incredible.
That's why I say it's all right because I still like hearing it. It's all those actors again. It would have been 10 out of 10.
I
if
kind of
you saw
wanted to.
them.
I kind of wanted to hear some of the voices, maybe some Sith, because like Palpatine says more than once that he's all the Sith. Give me Maul.
Maul.
Give me. give me Maul. Give me like Ray Park.
Maul, a clip of Dooku or something.
clip of Dooku.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Like just to
Cool.
summarize the two main things I always say. I mean, visual effects and music are still
Oh
incredible.
yeah.
So
They're
we'll just sum
consistent.
it up there. Every Star Wars movie has for the sequels. Has,
There we go.
for the sequels has the best visual effects and music all throughout is incredible.
Yeah.
So we'll
John
sum
Williams is just that dude.
Yeah, we'll just sum that up
He's
here.
right. I might have some more good on here. I did have some
Interesting.
positives on here. I loved the concept of a group of rogue stormtroopers. I think that's a
Yes.
really
Oh, that
cool
was cool.
concept.
That is really
That
cool.
was cool.
I wish they did more,
Yes, I agree.
or just touched on it a little more. The only
Because-
thing we
and
got
then the-
really from was one character.
The girl at the very end when she's talking to Lando, are they related?
That was a little weird. They didn't do it.
Yes, they don't do anything
Yeah,
with
they
that.
sort of
They,
hinted that,
they
like,
kind
that
of
was-
hinted like they're related or something like that.
Yeah, like that was a daughter or something.
Finn in this movie is
yeah.
not as bad as Last Jedi.
I
He has redeeming
Finn frustrates me. His entire character arc is just simping
It's just
over
Rey.
Rey.
But in this movie, and then I didn't notice this, but he shows that he's force sensitive more than
A
once.
lot.
okay. That's another
Frequently.
thing I sort of want.
Let's transition to bad.
Let's go and transition.
Let's
to
transition
that.
a little bit,
because that's
yeah.
one of my biggest problems with this movie is the fact that the first time I saw this early on in the movie, he's like, "Ray, there's something I want to tell you." As they're sinking into the sand,
And you think it's just, oh, I love you. No.
And they bring it up.
No. It's
They
the-
bring it
it's-
up so much.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's the fact that they never answer that question.
They
That's
bring
what-
it up so much.
It was and then they answer it in like a like a showing of the movie.
No, it was like something like J.J. Abrams had to say in an interview.
JJ, I love you. What the heck?
That's my problem.
They
It's
brought
like,
it up multiple times. In the
Like
film.
that's the
Poe
problem.
does.
Poe
Poe
does.
Again, hold on. Because when I first saw this movie, the entire time I'm thinking, what's Finn going to say? And then when the credits roll and that question's never answered, I did not feel like it was just.
That was
I did not
so
feel like it was a good
frustrating.
conclusion because I was like, you gave me more questions than you gave me answers.
I'm going to go ahead and assume I never actually heard the answer from J.J. Abrams on what it was.
And I can't
But
remember
if
who
it
said
was
but
something
was-
relating to the romantic subplot, I
No.
have so much to complain about that.
No, the thing that they were going to reveal, if they revealed it, would have been really good.
What was it?
Finn was going to say he's force sensitive.
That was
or something along the lines of
Yes.
that.
it was straight up that he was force sensitive. That's been confirmed.
I'm a
Because
Jedi.
multiple times he senses that Rey is in trouble.
all the dang time, but it's just Rey, I swear.
Finn's entire character is Rey.
It's just simping for Rey.
So that it makes sense.
It makes
I think.
sense.
Yeah,
I think it makes sense.
What else?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Palpatine?
What
Okay,
about-
let's get to him. So what we kind of let's wrap him. Let's talk about everything beforehand because we haven't really talked about Palpatine yet.
The actor that plays him is phenomenal.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's so
Throughout
good. He's
the original
so good.
trilogy and the prequels, he is incredible.
No, his performance in this movie is there's nothing wrong with his performance.
I'm really talking about how his character is written.
Oh,
not in this movie. Not in this movie, but in everything before.
He's just a mastermind.
Yeah, which they.
He's one of the smartest people in Star Wars.
You can tell, like, right from the start, even when you're watching a chronological. Oh, not really chronological.
Because
you can tell he has a plan.
He plans. He plans decades in advance.
Yeah, I will say
so
no.
cool.
Which I think is cool.
It makes sense to have the final villain be Palpatine because it's always been
because he's so smart.
Palpatine.
He's so smart,
and it makes sense for the Skywalker Saga.
But here's the
something
problem.
that consistently focuses on the Skywalkers. Well, sorta to have the same villain because the entire villain through the original trilogy, the prequels, and the sequels has been Palpatine, and it makes sense for them to do it. I think the way they did it just felt so disconnected
and like a shoehorn. Like they shoehorned him in there. Like we had to have Palpatine.
Yeah, it was.
And
like,
then even they say
because you know where the reveal comes from. The title.
The title
sequence, and then the first line is that
Poe.
Well, no, it's when they get back. All of a sudden they're like, oh,
somehow Poe's line. Somehow Palpatine's alive.
Because the movie starts off where Kylo is just going from planet to planet, and then he finds Palpatine. And apparently, like, Snoke was, like, this clone that was made, because there's, like, a bunch of different tanks with, like, pieces of Snoke all throughout.
As much as I hate that, it makes sense for Palpatine, because, like, he's always been pulling the strings, but it's kind of stupid that you see a giant, like, tank of Snokes.
And here's my personal problem with the fact that they did bring back Palpatine at all. The whole point of everything from the prequels to the original trilogy is that Anakin Skywalker is the chosen one, and that he's supposed to bring balance to the Force.
No, the Force is female now.
What does this trilogy do?
Rey.
It does erase that.
It erases that, and that ticks me off.
Yeah, that is pretty frustrating. Yeah, I don't know. It's just sucks.
Because it was fine, even then, just this trilogy being a thing in general kind of erases that. But
this movie, like, even kind of kind of like acknowledges the fact that the way he comes back is stupid because Poe goes, he says somehow, and then the title sequence says something along those lines. They go, they're like, what the heck? and then somebody says something about like cloning. Even only the Sith know how to do it. What?
They're throwing these words out left and right, and we haven't even hit like what, the 10-minute mark of the film.
And it's supposed to be like a shock, like a really big shocker moment. It doesn't come across that way at all.
Because the very first preview, you hear him laugh.
Yeah.
The very first preview that ever came out. You hear him laugh.
You know, we gotta talk about a very clear comparison that can be made. So, at the end of this movie, where Palpatine and Rey are having their final showdown, whoop-de-friggin-do, and Palpatine is like, I am all the Sith. And then Rey says, and
I am Iron Man.
I am all the Jedi. And there is a very clear, like you just said, is a very clear comparison to Avengers Endgame, which came out that same year.
I am Iron Man. Because she goes, I am, and then she pauses. What?
I don't think you could say it's that, like they ripped it from it or something.
No, they didn't rip it.
I'm not saying that, but it's like something that's so, like, you can make a comparison to that. I'm not saying that they're both being like Disney.
Okay, because I was sitting here by myself. We all watched the movie separately this time. I was sitting here by myself, and when she goes, I out loud said Iron Man.
I'm saying, but that was my problem with it, was that I compared to that, is because of the fact that 2019 was the year of finishing sagas. You had the Infinity Saga being wrapped up with Avengers Endgame, which did it incredible, and then you have this, which
did it meh to below meh.
Yeah,
meh to below meh. Yeah.
Anyways, that was something I had to say because that's such an obvious comparison to make, and it didn't do anywhere near as well as
I will say this is something I like, but like some people don't like this. The thing where she passes the lightsaber to him.
Okay, can we have a discussion about that? Just the overall.
Oh, that's not how the Force works.
The overall concept of the.
That's not how the.
I wrote this in my notes. I didn't know what else to call it. I called it the Force FaceTime. So, like, can we have a discussion on how you guys feel about the Force FaceTime?
Okay, I think it's cool, but that's not how it works.
That's not how it works at all.
I mean, they have introduced a lot.
It feels like Rey when she does that. She goes. Ooh. She where'd it go? Got your lightsaber.
No. It feels like in the sequel trilogy they were just like they wanted to make the Force.
They're making crap up.
The most Deus Ex Machina in every case possible. I kid you not. It's like in the... I mean, they didn't do it so much in The Force Awakens.
But that also gives us one of the, I think, the coolest scenes in this movie where they're having that duel when Rey is in his quarters. Where every time they clash lightsabers, it's the scene behind them switches. Now,
see, that's
and then like
cool.
there's the
It's
berries.
cinematically done well.
It's so sick.
But that's the problem, is that because of that, and just like they just randomly say,
That's
"Oh,
not
the Force
how
can do
things
this."
work.
They just use it as an excuse just so Kylo knows where they are.
But the thing is, Ryan Johnson was the one that brought that into the universes they can communicate.
And J.J. Abrams
he had to do something, but
J.J. Abrams included it so much more too.
I don't
I don't
think so.
Actually, yeah.
He expanded upon it.
Ryan, they have more. It happens more often, but with JJ, it's like they bring stuff in. Like Vader's mask just straight up falls on the ground on that planet. JJ doesn't do it as much, but when he does it, it's more impactful. Yeah, he doesn't do it as much.
No, I don't hate it. I think they can. They're allowed to introduce new things and new concepts. That's fine. But the explanation for it at the end of the movie from Palpatine was like, you have a unexplained strong connection
where he talks about like their life force thing,
and they have just
like
a random.
That's stupid. The life force thing is stupid.
That's so awful because it makes no sense. Weird angle, but we forgot to talk about what we thought about the reveal that Rey was a Palpatine.
This is the second day we forgot it. We forgot about
this
is the day after.
Yeah, hence different clothes and the fact that I'm holding this camera by hand. What do we think about that reveal?
I like it.
I actually thought it was a very cool scene
because they wait until like halfway through the movie.
Yeah, it's when they're on the ship rescuing Chewie.
It's Kylo, and she. And then he holds out his hand, and she said that she wanted to take it.
No comparisons, but the scene was very reminiscent of the "I am your father" reveal.
Yeah. Which they sort of hinted at the Palpatine thing by the fact that early in the film she shot electricity out of her hands.
Yeah, that was absolute foreshadowing for sure. Yeah.
But yeah, the reveal is okay.
Yeah, and then there's the whole thing with she thought Palpatine wanted her dead when actually he wanted her alive. He wanted her to be the next.
Yeah, I thought the scene that they did the reveal in, I thought it was cool.
I think it was really cool, and then it gives us that thing where the Falcon shows up and they blast their engine into the hangar and Kylo stands there
that was kind of cool.
It's kind of funny.
Yeah, we completely forgot about that. Back to the review.
Why can she force heal?
It's been in other Star Wars media, so I don't think it's too abstract. That they
force healing, but I don't know why she has force healing.
I think it's just this is kind of been a theme through Star Wars. Is certain Jedi
because Yoda, I think Yoda can do it.
Certain Force users possess certain aptitudes for certain,
and then Kylo does it.
Skills,
and then Kylo does it. And then Kylo Ben Kenobi's, and Kylo Luke's.
He does.
And then Kylo straight up.
You want to talk about the part where Ben and Rey kiss?
Oh, that was unnecessary.
I don't hate it as much as I thought I did, but it's still unnecessary. It's still not good.
I'm with Logan. This was unnecessary.
I don't hate their.
Who initiates it? I don't know.
I don't hate their on-screen chemistry. They look fine together, but it's just
the kiss was not needed.
But it just felt unnecessary.
If it had just been a hug.
Right, if it was just an
Kylo hugs her,
embrace, and then he dies, that's fine. That's perfect.
Don't kiss.
But I don't think they had I didn't ever feel a romantic interest between them.
When they've been setting it up that's what you would expect between Finn and Rey.
A couple hours ago, Rey had stabbed him.
Right.
A couple hours ago, Rey stabbed him.
Right. I never once throughout the trilogy felt like they had a romantic chemistry.
Oh,
it was always
Yeah,
sibling.
I forgot one of the things that I liked. So Leia's final thing that she does that takes all her power from her is transmitting Han to.
That's right.
I never thought about that.
Yeah, that's what she does.
That's why
she dies. That's why she dies. They said she's because Maz. I love Maz. Maz again. Thank you.
I love
Maz goes. She knows what she has to do with her remaining strength, and she transmits Han to Kylo.
I never thought about that.
I think it's really good.
I thought it was simply she just reached out and said Ben, and
that was
died.
It. I think she died sending Han to
You
Ben.
literally got sucked into the vacuum of space and Mary Poppins yourself back into a spaceship.
Mary Poppins.
You're not allowed to die from that.
No, but
that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
And I think it's cool. I think it's really good. Nice. And he goes, "Hey kid," you're like, "Wait, was that Harrison Ford?"
Yeah, and then he turns around and just yes.
I loved that moment.
And there's no music cue at all. It's silent.
I loved that moment.
It's silent. It's really good.
And that's why I love Ben's character so much.
And there's the I know what I have to do. I don't know how to train to do it. But then Han just says, yes, you can. And then he throws that thing far.
It's just like, you do, and then he
yeets that sucker. And I'm like, no, that lightsaber was cool. Can I talk about the overarching thing that wait, no, there's two things that I don't like. Rey.
Rey's probably at her worst in this film.
For half of the movie, she spends, like, zoned out, like, looking at something. She is the reason that Chewbacca gets captured.
You said zoned out and just like, oh look, I'm looking everywhere except this one place where I need to look.
She's the reason Chewbacca gets captured because for some reason she walks into the desert for some reason.
Yeah. Because Kylo. Okay, whoa, we gotta talk about that. The scene where Kylo is.
That's cool.
Is zooming towards
and she does a flip.
And she does a flip and destroys.
That was in the preview.
But
it doesn't show her slashing.
You see
that was the teaser. That was like the first preview.
The first thing you ever saw of this film. That was cool.
Now, when I thought Chewie died, it was sad. I was like straight up sad.
Only for them to reveal it.
Like 10 seconds later.
Yeah,
very short.
Oh, Hux.
That was stupid.
Oh my god!
That was dumb. His entire motivation for being a spy was, I don't like Kylo Ren.
And then he dies, and I'm like, yes!
It's like, wow, that character was so stupid.
And then we get a better... That general that comes after is okay.
And then his death is and Hux's death is the most underwhelming thing ever.
He gets shot in the chest.
Dang, we found our traitor. We found our spy.
He's like, he gets shot, like, 5 seconds later, switch to another scene, doesn't acknowledge it again. I'm like...
Okay. He's just gone.
Yeah,
he's just gone.
Like, who cares?
Back to Rey. You guys are gonna like maybe hate me for this.
Okay, it depends on what you say.
Listen, okay. I think the way Rey felt in this movie felt very Attack of the Clones Anakin like. The way she rushes into things. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
The way she rushes into things.
Her like sand people moment is when she burns Kylo's ship on Octa.
And I wanted to like that. But it felt like it was too late in the trilogy for her to be acting like that.
Yeah, and if you think about it, she was going to exile herself there.
Right.
Like, she was literally about to exile herself there and was going to give up.
Yeah.
And if Luke hadn't showed up and done the whole, that was cool.
I feel like
because I completely forgot that this scene happened in that and not last year.
She burns her only mode of transportation.
And because you see the X-Wing in Last Jedi, and then he lifts it up in this movie.
Which is cool.
That was cool.
But
that was a cool
like what Yoda did in Empire.
Yeah, and it's got like the
I never thought about that comparison. That's accurate.
It is, but it's just, and I didn't hate Rey in this movie. I just kind of was upset that the bulk of her character arc was done in this one film.
Because Last Jedi just doesn't have
much. A
lot of it happens on screen. Like a majority of her training happens on screen.
Right, and but she doesn't have much character arc that happens in that movie. I think The Force Awakens sets her character up well. But I think...
It sets it up, but it doesn't.
Right, but I think The Last Jedi failed to give her a bulk of her character arc that was needed, and then the last movie does all of it.
Oh, one thing I did like about this movie, Rose is barely a character, thank the heck.
But it just makes it feel weird.
That, like, hey, she was so important, now she's not. And it's so obvious that Finn friend-zoned her by how they talk.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
It's so obvious.
It is kind of awkward.
It's like, yikes.
This light speed skipping, I don't even know.
They don't explain what that is.
They don't explain it at all.
They don't explain.
Rey knows what it is, Poe knows what it is, and
it messed up the Falcon.
It screwed up the Falcon big time.
Choreography's still kind of mid.
Huh?
Choreography's still kind of
mid.
Oh, yeah, the choreography is still bad.
This choreography's still kind of mid. It's not great.
The fight when they're on the planet where she gets the Wayfinder isn't the worst thing. But then she ruins it by when a wave comes up, she does this weird, like, backflip. Where she's pointing her lightsaber up, and she does a backflip.
That's so weird, yeah. Sorry. Oh, but speaking of that.
Then kind of like
the fact that one, that's where the remains of the Death Star are.
That's cool. Yeah. That was really cool.
That was. 2, you wanted to talk about this before, that Evil Rey?
Evil Rey is cool. But then she has teeth.
Yeah,
she has, like, sharp teeth.
And ruins it.
Her lightsaber is one of the coolest things I've ever seen in my life.
You brought up her lightsaber.
Because if you watch when they duel, I forgot they dueled. They duel briefly. Yeah. She extends it. She fights for a little bit, and then she closes it back up to do a saber lock. She closes it back up to do a little.
It's pretty sweet.
So cool.
The explanation of this entire Sith fleet thing felt extremely lazy.
Yeah, the fact that there was just randomly a bunch of ships, and one
it was a
ship,
lot of ships.
I know, and like that
and
one
the-
ship had the power to destroy an entire.
And the
planet.
entire explanation they give for where it came from is like, hey, it's Palpatine.
Like, Palpatine just goes,
because he raises it from the top of the thing, whatever.
Oh, can we talk about Zori and how she looks like a knockoff Power Ranger?
Knockoff Power Ranger.
Zori, I like her.
I don't mind her. I'm just talking about her suit looks like a
She
mix
does look
of
like a Power
Iron Man
Ranger.
and a knockoff and like a Power Ranger.
It does.
Oh,
Actually, no. I'm talking about the 2017 Power Rangers movie suits. That's when I'm.
That is kind of what it looks like.
That's what I'm describing.
yeah.
I have-
But the 2017 Power Ranger movie suits look incredible.
Yeah, I was gonna bring up the reference to the Holdo maneuver
And then
and their lazy explanation to write it off.
it's already a thing. Why is it already a thing?
I know.
Who brings it up? It's Charlie Monahan.
I have the quote.
It's the guy played by Charlie Monahan.
I have the quotes written down. The guy says, "We need to pull some Holdo maneuvers, do some real damage." And I said, "Facts, just do that, lol." And then Finn responds. He says, "Come on, that move is 1 in a million."
No.
No, it's not.
She made it look easy.
Dude,
It's like
no,
1
just
million.
take like a bigger ship, do the Holdo maneuver right at Palpatine.
There you go.
I mean, he probably would stop it, but like, I mean,
True.
Or
He would
at the
probably
very
listen
least,
to
just do it
BS.
through the fleet of ships.
It just, yeah. That I thought that was funny because it kind of poked fun at the. Also, the new TIE fighters, like the Sith fleet TIE fighters, look like Doritos.
Oh, wait, really quick.
Yes, they were triangles.
One thing I want to talk about, those new, like the red suits.
The
Sith
Sith troopers,
I
those
love
are sick
those.
looking.
they have like
I'm
6 seconds of screen time, but they're Sith troopers,
I know, but I love how they look.
They're pretty sweet, and they
I'm
look
bi-
wicked
I'm
in
bi-
Battlefront.
and they're in Battlefront too.
They look
Yeah,
cool in
I'm
You know, they had
Battlefront.
6 seconds of screen time.
I'm biased because it's red, but oh, they look so cool.
Bro,
I love them.
the goat things that they rode on the ship.
Oh my gosh.
They're not driving. They're not on speeders. They're riding goats.
Okay, Secretariat. Okay.
So let's talk about how this saga ends. shall we?
It's kind of cool where she visits Luke's old home.
Yeah, I
and
like
she like slides down it like she does in Force Awakens,
Yeah.
and she buries the lightsabers, which is cool.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
because
it's
we
her
got
master's lightsabers. Both of her masters. She bears the lightsabers.
Luke and Leia have
But
the final scene,
I'm
the
gonna throw
final line
I'm gonna throw it.
Listen,
of this movie
You're gonna hate me for this.
is
guy.
somebody walks by and is like, there hasn't been anybody here for ages. Who are you? I'm Rey. Rey who?
Ray
What?
Star Wars.
Do I know what
Ray
she
Star Wars.
says? Rey Skywalker.
Listen, I don't hate it
No!
as much as I did. After watching the entire trilogy and seeing kind of what they wanted to do briefly, but executed it very poorly, I think if they executed it well, it could have been a cool moment.
I agree with him.
No, yeah, I agree with that.
It
It's just
could have been a
but
great
this,
moment.
But this execution
But
was what made this.
I also agree with him in the fact that I don't hate it as much as I did the first time watching it.
Yeah, the first time it just I was
it's-
initially
it's-
First time it's like I hate Star Wars.
I hate Star Wars.
See, I don't hate it, but see, I don't hate it either. Like, I don't despise it, but it's still, I think, something I think is terrible.
Her lightsaber's sick.
Her lightsaber is so
Lightsaber
cool.
is so
Where
cool.
she turns
The
the
freaking-
gear, but like you think about it, when she's fighting, you could turn it really easily. It might have like
Maybe,
a lock
it
or
might have a
something,
lock,
but
yeah.
it's the top of her
It's the
staff,
staff thing that she carries around all the time.
which is really
It's cool.
good, and it's got like duct tape on it. It's cool.
It's really, really neat.
But now for the ratings. So, well, how about you? How about you go ahead and go first then?
Okay,
So,
so
we'll go ahead and get to ratings now, but you go ahead with your thing.
okay, this movie, it has good moments, but my main problem with this movie is, this is what Caden Emerson showed us, is stuff doesn't happen by cause and effect. It happens by effect and cause. Let me explain. So,
Yeah.
for instance, the dagger that they find. So she needs it to find the Wayfinder. Therefore, she finds it in the sand. She doesn't find the sand because without, if they hadn't fallen into that sand, you never find it.
Right.
It doesn't
They
happen.
didn't realize they
Yeah,
did it.
that's kind of the entire.
Yeah, stuff happens for plot reasons, and like you could say, they need it. Therefore, they're gonna find it somehow. This movie still has good stuff to it. I'm gonna go with 5.
I can get that.
Solid 5. It's
Okay.
5. Yeah, 5 because I like it. I think I still like it a good bit better than Last Jedi because there's like less. There's still, I'd say, the same amount of problems, but they're just like the tiniest bit less like annoying.
Yeah. I honestly found this movie, like, after rewatch, I found it a little more entertaining than...
Oh, it's very... That was what I told him. It is
yeah.
by no means a good movie, but it's, like, the scale of the final fight is really good. I think it's just entertaining.
Right. It has more entertaining moments than The Last Jedi. That's for sure.
Do you want to go next?
Sure. After a lot of thought, after watching the movie again, I initially had it down as a 4. You guys told me some things that I didn't even notice.
Like the Han thing?
The Han thing?
That's cool.
Huge.
That's really cool.
That's huge. I'm going to put it on the exact same rating I gave The Last Jedi. I'm going to put it at 5.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Now for me, this movie definitely has its entertaining moments, but...
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, but there are some parts, because the thing is, there are still a lot of parts of this movie that still really irked me.
Oh.
Now, again, I agree with him where it's like, I don't think it's like, it's an entertaining movie to watch. It has its entertaining moments, which, can stand out. But majority of this movie and just how a lot of these characters are, like what this movie sort of does to some characters, I really was never the biggest fan of. I feel like I'm torn between a 4 or a 5.
Yeah. Just go 4.5.
I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'll go 4.5.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Because it's still it's enjoyable, that's for sure.
Yep.
But I feel like so many of the issues I have with this movie they're too big a part of the movie that it just hinders me from being able to say that this is a good movie. And considering like this is the end of the Skywalker Saga, it wasn't a good end.
Now
that wraps up the Skywalker Saga.
Indeed.
I think the next Star Wars thing that we'll end up reviewing.
I really want to do Fallen Order, by the way. But anyways,
Fallen Order might be an upcoming one, but you know what I was
Currently
thinking?
playing through that. So.
You know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
The Mandalorian.
Really? Season 1 and 2?
Season 1, Season 2.
Yep.
Episode reviews?
No, just the entire
just
show.
season.
Just season by season?
Well, I mean, I was just saying just like the entire show.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Because, I mean, a lot of the shows are pretty much just the same beat anyways.
That's true. Yeah, it's a lot. Some of the episodes
and
aren't.
also because The Mandalorian is my favorite show ever.
Some of the episodes don't matter as much as like the big scheme of things.
Right.
Yeah, so we can talk about like all the big ones.
There's some,
So that'll probably be our next Star Wars review. Will be my favorite TV show, The Mandalorian.
And then once I get done watching, we'll even start watching Book of Boba. We'll do that.
Right.
And then at some point, once I actually finish the show, we gotta do a review of the Clone Wars.
For sure. You gotta finish the last season.
I gotta finish.
Which is my favorite TV show of all
I'm still
time.
on season 3.
Which is my favorite show of all time.
Stay tuned for the next review, which I have not put out by the time that this will come up. Stay tuned for the next review, which me and Logan recorded on Tuesday with Uncharted.
Yes.
Still need to see that. How was that?
It was
Solid
fun.
film.
So fun.
Alright.
Solid film. Fun movie.
And stay tuned for next week. But as recording this, the Batman comes out. We are 1 week away.
Speaking of, we hopefully will be doing Arkham reviews. That's what we talked about.
Games, yes.
Reviews Arkham games because I'm playing through them right now. They've both played them, so
Valid.
Batman.
So
I'm ready to watch 3 hours of Batman. That's all.
Robert.
We gotta get a bunch of us from the Shireen that aren't working and just go up there on Friday night.
For sure.
Cool.
Anyways, but yeah, that's gonna do it. Stay tuned for the next review, which will be our collective ranking of the Star Wars movies once we actually figure that out.
We'll get that going right after this.
Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all later, Whipheads.